But right now, it is time to unveil the Chris Simms 2020 All-Pro team. And I think we'll start with your offensive players here. So if a player did not make the All-Pro team, if they did not make the Pro Bowl team, no, it doesn't matter because they can still make the Chris Simms All-Pro team for 2020.
Yes, very, very special. I mean, and compared to those, of course, you'd want to be on the Chris Simms Unbuttoned All-Pro team. It's very important.
If you had your pick, that's what you would pick. You're right. If you don't make it, then you hope you made one of those other two teams. All right, so let's start, Chris. So with this team, was there any special criteria? Are these players that you liked the most? Are they players that had the best stats? Like, what was your criteria for your team?
No, yeah, I don't go, you know me, I don't always go by stats. Stats are certainly taken into account, but like, listen, I had certain offensive linemen and players I looked at to where, okay, if it was close, yeah, I went with the one that I just like and think is better, just on my own, my own basis or evaluation. But in other things too, certainly where I looked at, okay, wait, both these players are very good. It's really close. I am big into like looking at the schedule, who had a tougher matchups to go against, how did their team play and use them within their offense and things like that. So no, it's not about Chris Simms' favorite players. I got a few of my favorite players where I feel like these guys are all pro material, and I think they outperform some of the guys that are on the actual all-pro team. But those other guys just have popular names or on awesome teams that get all the popularity and all the notoriety that way. So it's a little mixed. But I tried to go by what I thought were the best players at each position. That's really what I did.
All right. And we start with quarterback on the Chris Simms 2020 All-Pro team. I do not know the answers to these beforehand. You have not shared them with anyone, but we all know, and the homies will guess this one too, your quarterback is Aaron Rodgers.
That's right. You're damn Skippy. That damn Skippy. I mean, again, listen, whether you agree with me or not, I don't think anybody who watched football this year would sit here and go, wait, he's outside the top 2 or 3 quarterbacks in football still at this point. Now, I think certainly, yes, he had the best year out of all the quarterbacks in the NFL. And, I think the other quarterbacks that he was in this conversation with have a better support system than Aaron Rodgers. So that's where, yes, not only is the MVP of football, he played the position the best, most consistently all year long. And again, like I said, it wasn't a superstar cast around him. Certainly guys like Mahomes and Josh Allen had more talent around him. I think you could sit there and even say that about Russell Wilson to a degree. Here's my one thing I want to say about Aaron Rodgers, all right? And this has been pissing me off a lot ever since they lost the playoff game. I see way too many comments of people going like, Aaron Rodgers choked in the game. And I want to be like, what? Because he didn't run it in on that 3rd down, so he choked. Like, that's ridiculous talk. No evaluator would evaluate that as a negative. If we're going to get into the negatives, then, man, Brady, like, every play in the game was negative except for like 4 or 5 plays. That's just insane. And here's the other thing I just want to say, too, because people are, Aaron Rodgers, it's the playoffs. They choked. Okay, not right. No. Nobody's lost more games throwing for 3 touchdowns and 1 interception in the playoffs history than Aaron Rodgers. The team never supports him. He can't catch the ball for Aaron Jones. He can't get Mike Pettin out of dumb defensive play calls, right? I mean, those are stupid as can get. There's a lot of other things there. But because the team is so based around Aaron Rodgers and his success is totally predicated on Aaron Rodgers and his ability to execute offense, this is why they don't win a lot of playoff games every year. It's hard to execute in the playoffs. The defenses are better, and as we saw, they don't call pass interference. You're allowed to call no holding or pass interference, except for one play that whole game. There was holding and pass interference every play in that game. But the teams that have to rely on execution, that's not a good thing for them. And they're not a super talented team. See, the teams with talent, like Mike Evans or a Tyreek Hill, Oh, you're holding me? Oh, great. See, get off me. I'm going to run by you. Oh, I'm faster than you. I'm stronger than you. It doesn't matter. You can't hold me. They don't have those type of athletes on the side of the Green Bay Packers. Devontae Adams is very good. Chris Simms' power rankings of wide receivers were closer to the truth than him being number one. The playoffs showed Devontae Adams is not a top 5 receiver. He's not a difference maker that way. He's awesome. He's a top 10 receiver. I don't give a damn how many catches he has. He is not a top 5 talent at the position that makes DBs shake in their boots. So sorry, I had to get that off my chest with that first All-Pro nomination there in Aaron Rodgers.
Man, this is the guys that you thought had a great year, and I did not think that you would get that fired up about your number one here. You pick Aaron Rodgers. I would have had Tom Brady as the quarterback, but that's just me. You know that about me. I would have put Tom there just to fire you up even more. I'm just joking, by the way. Okay, you're running back. You're all pro. You're all pro running back. This one I have no idea. Actually, for a lot of them, I will have no idea. You're all pro running back.
Well, I'm not going to go to Crazyville here. I'm going to go with Derrick Henry. He was
Okay.
the best running back in football. There's no denying that. I'm not going to try to just be, contrarian just to be contrarian. No, he's a stud. The team is based around him. He's the best running back in the league. There's no denying that. And, hey, Dalvin Cook's awesome. Nick Chubb right there. They're right there nipping at his heels. But these first two positions were no-brainers. They stood out above the rest. Quarterback and running back. I don't think anybody would have anything different than those two right now.
You're right. I lied. That one was easy too. Aaron Rodgers, Derrick Henry, number one. I mean, yeah, there's some other names of guys that had pretty good years and pretty good runs. I think Alvin Kamara had a pretty good run this year, but nothing like Derrick Henry did. All right, three receivers you're
right
putting.
There, you're right. Right.
Three receivers you're putting on your team. So you're in a trips formation, perhaps all on one side. Who are your all-pro receivers?
Well, yeah, Tyreek Hill's my first choice. Tyreek Hill to me is still the most dangerous weapon in all of football. And for what he does for that offense, when he touches the ball, it's scary. Watch out. There's my first one. Stefon Diggs is my second one. And Stefon Diggs, my second one, yeah, we know the stats and all of that, but so many of the stats were not, designed by the playbook. And yeah, Josh Allen gets some credit for that. But Diggs, I think I love about Diggs is there is just no weakness to his football game. Top tier route runner, can do all the underneath stuff, can beat you deep, and then he's a football player. He's got great feel for, oh, wait, Josh Allen's scrambling. I'll find the right place to go and do all that. So he's going to be my other one. And then my third, I'm going with DK Metcalf. I am. DK Metcalf is going to be my third receiver because I think one-on-one, other than Tyreek Hill, he's the most physically tough, intimidating cover in all of football. And I know he doesn't have as many catches as Devontae Adams and some of the other receivers that are out there. It's still about he lines up in one spot the whole game. He almost always comes through. It's big plays. He affects the game because there's a lot of double coverage that he takes and it does other things for the football team. And for me, DK Metcalf was certainly one of the three best receivers in football this year.
Some other names out there, DeAndre Hopkins, Allen Robinson had a good year. Keenan had a lot of receptions. Those guys.
Adams, of course, was right there.
Devontae Adams. Justin Jefferson, he was fourth this year. Wow, fourth in yards this year for Justin Jefferson. All right, so some in consideration, but Chris goes with Hill, Diggs, Metcalf. Perhaps an early look at your top 10 receivers next year.
Hey, Devontae Adams is going to be on there next year. I can promise you that. He ain't going to be in the top 5. I can also promise you that.
More controversy coming with that list. It was the most controversial list, which it's hard to beat your quarterback list because usually that creates some firestorms. I don't know how you did it with your wide receivers, but yeah, absolutely crushed it. Although that's not your goal. That's not your goal. All right, tight end. I'm thinking here, Travis Kelce. I'll be surprised if it's anyone else.
Yes, you should be. The only one I think that's even in the class of Travis Kelce is maybe Darren Waller for the Raiders, right? But Kelce, special year. I don't know if, I've ever seen a tight end like Travis Kelce. Listen, at this point of his career, do I think like a guy like George Kittle is, more explosive, can make big plays than Travis Kelce, is a better blocker? Yes. But of course, we know he was hurt for a lot of the year. But where I say I've just never seen anything like Kelce, I've never seen a big guy, a tight end, as limber, as loose as he is, the ability to put his foot in the ground and come out of breaks just like seamlessly. It's very special, let alone like we talked about with Stefon Diggs, that backyard aspect of like it's like you and me, how we have this, like we can look at each other and we know what we're thinking, right? It's like Mahomes, I feel like when he scrambles, it's like, well, where's 87? And then 87's like, oh, my telepathic brain is telling me to move here because Mahomes wants me to, and they connect. It's special. He's one of the best, if not the best, natural receiving tight ends I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, very good, and proving it even more in the playoffs, like an unguardable force. You've got Hill, you've got Kelce, and it's unfair with Patrick Mahomes. It doesn't even seem like he needs those kind of weapons, but he's got them in Andy Reid's system. One of the reasons why I enjoy doing the show with you all the time, Chris, is that we give love to the big uglies up front. It's not all just about the quarterbacks and the wide receivers and the running backs. So you're going position by position on the offensive line. We'll start on the left side of the line, your left tackle for 2020 All-Pro Chris Simms team.
I'm going to go with Trent Williams here. I know David Bakhtiari won the actual All-Pro, and he was really second right here. Like, as far as, man, that's nitpicking between these two. But where I think I give Trent Williams the advantage, or just where he impressed me maybe more than Bakhtiari. Williams is so special in the run game. And that's where I think that, pass protection, it's really close. I mean, they're both unbelievable. You don't ever have to worry about anything when they're anchoring your left side of the line. But Williams, to me, is a very, very special run blocker. And they ask him to do very advanced things for a left tackle. Shanahan, that offense, all the movement they do, they ask their offensive linemen to pull and get to the second level and do intricate things maybe more than any other offense in football. And that's really where I kind of gave him the advantage there.
Trent Williams on the left side, left tackle is your pick. Are you moving anyone around? Are you cheating at all and going to move?
No,
like you can move Bakhtiari
true
to the right side. Oh, you are? Okay.
No, I know. I stayed true, though. I stayed true to the left tackles. I kept them there, and I kept right tackles at right tackle.
All right, let's go left guard then, Chris.
Okay, well, that's where, you know what? I didn't even put guards. I just went guards in general, okay? So I don't care where they are.
You're cheating.
They can figure that out. They can figure that out
they
as far
can,
as the
totally.
guards are concerned. But
they're all
gonna...
Chris Simms 2020. They're smart enough to do that.
Definitely. And it's not as a big of adjustment for a guard to play the left side or the right side as compared to tackle. But Quentin Nelson, left guard, Quentin Nelson, all right? I don't know. There's really just not a better offensive lineman in football to me still than Quentin Nelson. There's just pass protection. He's immovable. Run game, he's a bulldozer and can do it all in the run game, whether that's pulling or getting to the second level or just absolutely coming off straight ahead and just bulldozing people that way. Quentin Nelson still one of the best in the game.
All right, let's do your other guard then, too.
Joe Antonio from the Cleveland Browns will be my other one. I know Wyatt Teller got a lot of talk there this year as far as his great year, which well-deserved. It was very good. But Antonio, to me, is a better all-around football player than Wyatt Teller. Wyatt Teller, awesome in the run game, got some work to do in the pass game, but Antonio has none of those issues, let alone, again, that offense, the running the ball, there was a lot on him, but Antonio, what they do, that Kubiak-Stefanski run system, all of that. He's a great pulling guard as well. I looked at Joe Antonio as being one of the more impressive guards in all of football this year.
Ali Marpet, Brandon Sheriff for Washington, also, I'm sure, in the conversation for you.
Definitely. They were right there. And I feel like I'm missing another name that I can't think of. But Ali Marpet and Scherf are the next ones, I think, right there on that list to for me, they would have been above Wyatt Teller, who I believe Wyatt Teller was the second All-Pro guard, right? On the
Yeah.
actual All-Pro
I'd
team.
have to look back at it. I think so. Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, so let's fill out your line. Let's go to right tackle, and then we'll finish with center. So let's go right tackle.
Well, yeah, right tackle. I'm going with Ryan Ramczyk. Ryan Ramczyk is the best right tackle in football. You know, I know that like Jack Conklin, you know, he got a lot of love this year. He goes to Cleveland. Things look really good that way. I just think the diversity of the offense with the Saints, it's much more diverse than what the Browns do. They ask a lot of their right tackles. Ramczyk's one of those guys, you don't even know he's on the team there because we only talk about tackles when something bad happens for the most part, the right tackle. You never hear anything bad happen over there.
Yeah.
You know, he really is. He's got great power. He can stop power rushers in the pass game and run game. He's your typical, you know, Wisconsin road grader type. So that's my other tackle.
And your anchor of your offensive line, the center.
This wasn't even close. I don't think anybody played as well as Corey Linsley this year at the center position. I had a hard time really finding anybody to even, you know, compete in that narrative. I know there's some other good centers out there this year, but I didn't see anybody that was, you know, I felt like it was a little bit of a down year for Jason Kelce with the Philadelphia Eagles. You know, the Ragnow with the Detroit Lions, good, but not to the level Linsley played. The guy in Tampa, Jensen, I love him. He's awesome in the run game. But, man, he gets beat in the pass game too much. Linsley's a guy that it's almost perfection across the board. He was by far the best center in football.
Yeah, J.C. Treader, also another guy who's up there.
Yeah,
and no mystery why Cleveland was able to run the ball so well this year, right? It seems like we've mentioned every one of their offensive linemen.
Yes, no, it was a special group. And, you know, I took that into an account, too, a little bit, where, you know, hey, yeah, Wyatt Teller, it's not hard to play guard sometimes when you got a center and another guard, a tackle like that next to you who are really damn good. Not to take anything away from him, but like those are like Conklin and Ramczyk, both awesome. I think it's just the diversity of the Saints offense that I thought about more, that is more impressive to me when it's a close one like that, and what they ask the right tackle to do maybe compared to Conklin and Cleveland.
So Brandon Sheriff, Pete notes, was the right guard on the NFL's All-Pro team. Jack Conklin was the right tackle. So they are left off of the Chris Simms 2020 All-Pro team, but they have a consolation prize there. Aaron Rodgers, Derrick Henry are the quarterback, running back, Tyreek Hill, Stefon Diggs, DK Metcalf, Travis Kelce, your tight end, Trent Williams, Quentin Nelson, Corey Linsley, Joel Bitonio, and Ryan Ramczyk on your offensive line. That team's going to win a few games. That team would win a few games, right?
I would say so. Yeah, I think so. It's not easy doing these damn lists.
No, you leave off a lot of guys. You make a lot of people angry. They come at you, and then you go at them. And it's this vicious cycle of anger and hate that goes around and around that makes things go here on Chris Simms Unbuttoned.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.